Before the end of the world, there was a family cursed by the gods themselves. A father, Loki the trickster of Asgard, and his children, monsters born from prophecy, a wolf destined to swallow the All-Father, a serpent large enough to strangle the earth, a queen who rules the dead. This is Loki's dark legacy. The Norse cosmos is a world where gods and giants share ancestry and destiny. At its center sits Asgard, home of the godlike Aesir, while the giants of Jotunheimr dwell beyond. Between these realms moves Loki, a mischievous figure whose shifting allegiances and clever schemes upset the cosmic order. He's not one of the noble Aesir by blood. His father is the giant Farboti, and his mother is Laufey, giving him a foot in both worlds. Loki's beauty and charm conceal a temperament that the sagas call pleasing and handsome, yet evil in character and given to cunning tricks. He marries the goddess Sigyn and has sons Narfi and Vali. But these are not the children that haunt the gods' nightmares. Loki's restless nature and constant meddling make him both ally and adversary of the Aesir. This dual identity sets the stage for a dark legacy. His unions with giants will produce beings that embody chaos and doom. And to understand why the end of days in Norse myth involves monstrous offspring, we must explore Loki's most infamous family ties. Loki's most consequential liaison is with the giantess Angrboða, whose name means she who brings grief. They meet in Jotunheimr, the land of giants, and together they conceive 3 children unlike any seen before. The eldest is Fenrir, a wolf cub whose jaws will soon be large enough to swallow mountains. The second is Jörmungandr, a serpent destined to encircle the world. The third is Hel, a daughter whose half-black, half-flesh body marks her as a liminal being. When the gods learn that these siblings are being raised in Jotunheimr, they will recall prophecies that from them great mischief and disaster will arise. Fearing the destruction foretold, Odin summons the gods to retrieve the children from their mother. In the prose Edda, the story tells how All-Father orders the offspring brought before him. This simple decision to intervene in the upbringing of Loki's children will shape the fate of gods and men. The Aesir respond not with mercy but with preemptive punishment. They will separate the siblings and consign each to a different fate. Their actions reveal both the fear of prophecy and the cruelty of those who attempt to avoid it. Fenrir quickly outgrows every chain. The gods first test him with a mighty fetter called lading. The young wolf snaps it effortlessly, prompting the saying to loose from lading for extraordinary feats. They forge a second fetter Dromi, twice as strong, and entice Fenrir to test it by promising fame. He breaks this chain as well. Desperate, Odin sends Freyr's messenger Skirnir to the dwarves in Svartalfaheimr, who craft a thin ribbon called Gleipnir from 6 impossible ingredients. Though smooth and silken to the touch, Gleipnir is stronger than any chain. Fenrir senses a trick. He demands that one of the gods place a hand in his mouth as a pledge of good faith. Only Tyr dares answer. As soon as Gleipnir tightens, the wolf struggles but cannot escape. Realizing the deception, Fenrir bites off Tyr's right hand. The gods fix a cord to Gleipnir, anchor it with stones, and thrust a sword into the wolf's jaws to hold them open, forming the river Van from his drooling saliva. Here Fenrir remains bound until Ragnarök, When the earth shakes, all bonds snap, and he will break free. At the end of days, he will stride across Vigrid with his jaws gaping, his upper jaw touching the sky and lower jaw the earth, and his eyes and nostrils blazing with fire. Fenrir will swallow Odin, only to be torn apart by Odin's son Vidar in vengeance. The binding of Fenrir thus foreshadows the gods' doom. Their attempt to control fate leads directly to the circumstances of their demise. While Fenrir languishes beneath the earth, his brother Jörmungandr thrives in the sea. Odin's decision to cast the serpent into the deep ocean has unintended consequences. The creature grows so immense that it circles Midgard and grasps its own tail. This Ouroboros-like posture symbolizes eternity and the boundaries of the known world. The serpent becomes the archenemy of Thor. In one story, the giant Utgarda Loki challenges Thor to lift a disguised cat. Only later does Thor learn he had lifted Jörmungandr and stretched it so far that one of its paws left the ground. Another tale recounts Thor's fishing expedition with a giant Hymir, during which he baits a hook with an ox head and hauls Jörmungandr from the depths. The two face one another until Hymir, terrified, cuts the line and the serpent sinks back beneath the waves. As Ragnarok approaches, Jörmungandr will release its tail, thrash upon the land, and spray venom that floods earth and sky. It will fight beside Fenrir and the sons of Muspel until Thor meets it on the plain of Vigrid. The thunder god will slay the serpent with his hammer, but will stagger 9 paces and fall dead, overcome by its poison. Jörmungandr embodies the uncontrollable forces of nature. Cast away by the gods, it becomes a cosmic boundary and their eventual nemesis. Hel receives a different fate from her brothers. Thrown into Niflheim by Odin, she is given dominion over the 9 worlds of the dead. Her realm is described as a cold, misty place beneath the world tree. Its walls are high and its gates immense. The goddess herself is half black and half flesh-colored, a stark visual representation of life and decay. Her hall, El Shudnir, contains macabre furnishings. A dish called Hunger, a knife named Famine, a threshold called Stumbling Block, and curtains called Gleaming Bale. Hel's charge is to provide board and lodging for those who die of sickness or old age, reflecting the Norse belief that valorous warriors go to Valhalla or Folkvangra, while others enter her bleak domain. In the tale of Baldur's death, Hermodr rides to Hel's hall to plead for Baldur's release. The queen agrees to let Baldur return only if every creature sheds tears for him. One giantess refuses, and Baldur remains in Hel's realm, showing her unwavering adherence to rules. At Ragnarok, when Loki sails the ship Naglfar, the monstrous brood aboard includes not only giants, but also all of Hel's people. Her subjects will march with Loki and the forces of Muspel to the final battle, underscoring that the dead cannot be kept out of the conflict. Hel's story highlights how exile can turn into sovereignty and how the boundaries between life and death are porous in Norse cosmology. From trickster to outcast, from father to bringer of doom, Loki's legacy reaches beyond gods and giants. His children, the wolf, the serpent, and the queen of the dead, embody the forces that even the gods cannot control: fate, chaos, and death itself. In trying to master these powers, the Aesir sealed their own end. For in the Norse cosmos, every bond breaks, every prophecy comes true, and every act of defiance feeds the cycle of destruction and rebirth. When Ragnarök comes, it's not just the end of the gods, it is the beginning of everything anew.